All right, so in number 1, it's asking us to multiply the binomial. And so we are multiplying a binomial times a binomial. A binomial is a term with a polynomial with 2 terms. So what you're going to want to do is multiply the 4 and the 2 together. So negative 4x times 2x would give us a negative 8x squared, because x times x is x squared. Then we want to multiply the negative 4x with the 6. So then we will get a negative 24x. Then we multiply the negative 3 by 2x, which gives us a negative 6x. And then the negative 3 times 6, which would give us a negative 18. Then we want to combine our like terms, which are our terms in the middle. So that would give us a negative 8x squared minus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minus 30x minus 18. And so that would be our final answer. Now, there is more than one way to do this. I have also shown you a box method to complete this problem. And so if you like to do the box method, you can create a box, and then you could put in the terms on the outside. So we've got a negative 4x minus 3, and then a 2x and a 6. And then what we can do here is we can multiply the 2 values on the outside of the box to get what's in the middle. So we would multiply negative 4x and 2x to get a negative 8x squared. Then we're going to multiply a negative 4x times 6, which would give us a negative 24x. 2x times a negative 3 would give us a negative 6x. And then negative 3 times 6 is a negative 8. Then you'll see that the negative 6x and the negative 24x have the same terms. So we can combine those together and get our answer of negative 8x squared minus 30x minus 18. So those are the 2 different methods that you can use in order to solve these. You can use either one, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. For the second problem, we're going to be looking for the missing angle. So when you're missing an angle in a right triangle, you want to go back to the trig functions, sine, cosine, or tangent. And so these are the ratios for each of the trig functions. Now, if we're trying to find this angle inside of the triangle, you look to the information that you have. So we have the 15, which is on the opposite side of the triangle, and then we have the 20, which is your hypotenuse. And I know that the 20 is the hypotenuse because it's across from that right angle. So then you're going to look to see which trig function has the same information you have, or has the ratio of the information you have. So the opposite, and the hypotenuse would be your sine function. So we're going to say the sine of theta, which is our unknown, equals the opposite value over your hypotenuse. And then we'll, whenever you're trying to find an angle measure, you want to use your sine, your inverse of sine, which is sine to the negative 1. And then 15 divided by 20 equals theta. Now you can go to your calculator and plug that in. I'm going to use Desmos. Here we go. Sine 15 over 20. So we want to use the inverse of sine. You might want to check your wrench first to make sure you're on degrees, which I am. So our functions button, sine inverse, and then I believe we had 15 over 20, yes. So 15 divided by 20, which would give us an angle measure of 48.59. 48.59. So theta equals 48.59. Usually I have you round to the nearest hundredths position. So let's go ahead and say our answer is 48.6. We have to round up since 9 is bigger than 5. And so that would be the measure of our angle that we're looking for. So if you have any questions or you need to watch the video again, go ahead and do that. If you're ready, go ahead and start the assignment. Let me know if you have any issues with the assignment. Have a good